to our Sports Burst Studios. Georgie Metellus in the house.
G-Unit.
That's right. And on our agenda today, we're going to be talking Zizou because we cannot get enough. We haven't asked George his thoughts on this, so we're going to get his thoughts before touching on the Champions League. Who's joining Crisis Corner along with Real Madrid and PSG? We'll predict. And we're also going to touch Copa Libertadores action live and exclusively on beIN Sports. All this on Sports Burst that starts now. So by now, George, what's going on?
I'm sorry. I felt like a little mosquito bite.
Oh, no. We'll definitely keep you guys posted on that because that is breaking news if I've ever heard it.
It was like either mosquito bite or a grown pimple. It was weird.
The other breaking news was Zinedine Zidane yesterday. Wow, we were shocked. How were your thoughts on it?
I was definitely shocked, too. I didn't think he would come back this season. I thought, honestly, I had twisted it in my mind to think that he was going to go to PSG. That's what I thought.
What? Over Juventus even?
Yeah, I thought so, because I think we had predicted Juve would win the Champions League, so I thought Allegri would stay, and then PSG wouldn't be happy with Tuchel, and so they'd let him go, and then Zidane is French, and so they'd bring him to France. That's how I had it all twisted in my head, and I was completely wrong.
Yeah, well, we all were.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he went back to Real Madrid, but Thomas Rongen said it on the locker room yesterday, and when I was talking to him, he said it's a shrewd, brilliant move, the timing by Zidane. It's brilliant.
And Florentino also.
Yeah, Florentino
because the way
also,
that he's kind of mapped out these last 12 months is very interesting. I want to touch on a comment here by Des Norris. Zidane's ripped jeans, discuss. Did you see his? Yeah. Did you see his? Guys, please let us know what you think about Zidane's look. So apparently that very high cuff is something that's going to be in European style. You know that they're always probably a season or two ahead of us. But it was very questionable. And ripped jeans to your presentation at Real Madrid? Is that in the contract?
That was... I'm sorry, I don't care about fashion. That just looked terrible, man. I don't care if it's cool or not. It was terrible.
It was very questionable.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand you wear the jacket, no tie with the shirt, but the jeans that are ripped and then you're not even all the way down. I'm sorry, man. I was not feeling the fashion sense on that one, man.
Sanchez Alexander getting cheeky here. The only great news is that Real Madrid can enjoy all competitions behind a TV screen.
Barca fan.
Oh, wow. Guys, like magic. I'm getting the tablet so I can read. It's magic.
It's magic?
No, that's our producer who's very slyly crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike. So now I can read your comments in bigger form here. But yeah, I mean, Real Madrid out of all competitions, I think it's a little bit too little too late from Florentino Perez. I think had he brought him in after those two El Clasico losses, maybe Zidane could have rallied this
Champions
team.
League?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
They're out of it all now. I thought that the timing of the move, and I keep saying this, I asked Ray, I asked Vieri when we did the post, what is with the timing? Why now? What can he fix now?
Well, he can't fix anything now. All he can do is get them the Champions League. But I think what happened here...
The top four finish.
The top four finish. I think what happened was after Lopetegui left, they were asking him to come back, and he was like, no. Then... this whole situation with the Champions League and then the 3 losses at home to Barca and then Ajax, he was like, okay, now is the time. Because he didn't want to take over the team with trophies on the line and there's no Cristiano. That's what I think. I think he didn't want to take over the team with no when there were trophies on the line and Cristiano is not in the mix. I think he wants to make sure that he has his team the way he wants. Next summer, they're going to spend money to bring in big-time players, and then we'll see how he does. But I think he was like, yo, this team has holes. I know on the locker room they mentioned it. It has holes. I don't want to be embarrassed by the squad without Cristiano. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to wait until everything is clear. Come back on that white horse, as a savior, Zidane, a.k.a., football Jesus Christ, and then makes things happen for Real Madrid. So that's what I think.
You're probably not wrong. Corey Smith saying Zidane coming back is just step 1 of a process. It will take much more time to restore Real Madrid to its former glory. And my question to you, Corey, is do you think Madridistas are patient enough to watch this process? Because I'm thinking that they're thinking, okay, Zidane's back. Thank God they have no trophies to win, because if the Champions League was still in play, they would expect Zidane to bring them to a fourth consecutive.
Right.
So honestly, thankfully, just as you said, there's no pressure really on Zidane except for to win his remaining games. And for those of you that haven't looked at Real Madrid's schedule, it is a cakewalk. Besides their trip to Valencia, it is an absolute cakewalk. But to Corey's point, this process, I think that they're going to expect big things next season already.
Oh, yeah. Real Madrid fans, their expectations are very high. It's going to be high until the end of time. They have to buy, over the summer, they got to get rid of some players.
Gareth
Bale. Get Bale. The Batman has got to go. Yes. Gareth Bale's got to go. Isco and Marcelo are feeling energized because of what happened. And what somebody's talking about the
everyone's very excited about the comment that you see below there.
Okay.
Brendan Fuego Malcolm saying, I'll take Zizou's fashion sense over George's. He is the greatest of all time, Brandon.
Okay.
So let's...
I hope you do. You're a dude, man. I don't want, I hope so.
Moving along.
If you were a lady, then I'd be like, maybe I'd think about it. But you're a dude, so I don't care what you think. But moving on. There you go.
King Romario coming to the rescue. My God, Zidane style is fire. Oh, George.
You old.
You old.
No, y'all
I
are whack.
He was sticking up for you, but he wasn't. This is
You're
very
whack.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm not seasoned. No, it's not that I'm old or seasoned. It's that y'all are whack. Okay? No, I'm sorry. Let's keep it real here. Okay? I grew up in a different era. That's true.
No, you're very stylish, George.
But Zidane grew up in your era.
Come on, Zidane grew up in my era. No, but let's just keep it real. I'm gonna go there with it, okay? Y'all Europeans, y'all got some funky dress habits, man. Somewhere with y'all dress habits. You're wearing pants that pass your knees that are tight. Why do Europeans like tight clothes?
I don't know.
I don't understand
they like to
that.
show off their figure. Andrew Cantura, they hear though.
Oh, it's fitted? You know, it looked tight to me.
Everyone, focus.
Sorry, my bad, y'all. My bad.
Andrew Cantura is saying, I feel bad for Solari. Any idea what's going to happen with him back to the B team? Now, in their statement when they said that Solari was
still with the
sacked,
club.
and they said that they thanked him for his time. I think Solari knew all along that he was an interim.
Yeah.
And I think they will find a position for him back. I don't know if he'll go back to the Castilla side, but I think they'll definitely find a position with him within the club.
Look, I mean, other than the losses to Barcelona, which any manager coaching Real Madrid would have got beat by Barcelona.
Lopetegui did.
Lopetegui.
TBT.
With this squad, Zidane would have lost to Barcelona.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Think?
With this squad, with the way it is now, Zidane would have lost to Barcelona in those matches. So you can't blame. I think he did a decent job.
Johnny Glass saying Messi's fashion sense is better than Zidane's. That is very questionable, Johnny Glass. Have you seen certain outfits by Lionel Messi?
He has a dress.
No, that is
his wife dresses him. We all know that. If you're married, your wife dresses you.
But yeah, I mean, this Zinedine Zidane, this 2.0 era is going to be very interesting for us to watch. I guess the question is, you're Zidane, you take over training today, Tuesday. What do you do? What's step one? Well,
step one is to re-establish leadership in the locker room and say, okay, I'm the man in charge. Ramos, you're not the man, I'm the man in charge. And two is to get everybody to have a proper mindset set. Look, I know Isco was probably frustrated with what happened. Marcelo was frustrated under Solari because he was benched for Reguilon a couple of times. So
a lot of times.
A lot of times, yeah. So he has to get the mentality of the team right.
Correct.
He probably has to talk to Bale and squash whatever little issues they have, or even tell him, look, play out the rest of the game, the rest of the season, and we'll sell you over the summer. But he has to find a way to be honest and open with those players.
Rafa Castorena saying Madrid will rebuild and be a threat to Barca next year. Adios, Bale. Bring in Mbappe and Hazard. The pieces are there. Vinicius, Asensio, Lucas Vazquez are the cornerstone of the team. Great analysis. Yeah. Well, we'll see what they can pull together
I just want to see what Zidane does without Ronaldo, because Ronaldo made him look good. Let's be honest here.
Made Real Madrid look
good. So let's see how he does. We'll see how good he really is tactically without Ronaldo.
Speaking of Cristiano Ronaldo, he is in action today against Atletico Madrid. This is going to be a partidazo because Juventus are down 2-0. The team that we both predicted to win the Champions League at the beginning of the season could be headed to crisis corner along with Manchester United and PSG. This is going to be very major. Can Juventus pull I think would be the turnaround of the tournament thus far? Because just playing into account how these two teams play, this is going to be insane.
Oh, it is going to be very intense, very insane. Absolutely. I said on the locker room that I think Juve will turn it around because Cristiano has a great record of scoring goals against Atletico.
He does. 22 goals in 32 appearances.
Matches, yep. So I think that'll be important. But I'm looking at, everybody's focusing on Ronaldo. And I understand that because he's a superstar. He's great. Right. But look out for Mandzukic in this matchup, man. This dude. He's the opposite of Higuain. He scores in big games, okay?
I mean, look what he did in the Champions League final.
He scored in the I looked this up. Champions League final for Bayern when they won the treble. Champions League final and a loss to Real Madrid when he was at Juve. And he scored in the World Cup final for Croatia.
He is the guy.
The guy is clutch. The guy comes up in big games. If he can find a way to occupy not Ronaldo, Godin and Jimenez, who are probably going to start in the heart of that Atletico defense, I think Juve can, he can do enough to help Ronaldo, loosen up Ronaldo and score some goals there. I think Atleti are going to get eliminated.
Ooh, and this, let's not forget that this is one of Cristiano Ronaldo's worst Champions League seasons ever. Yeah. This is his lowest scoring record since 2005-2006 when he scored 0 goals. He is not having a good campaign, and he is going to have to come up big along with Mandzukic if Juventus are going to do this.
Absolutely, and this game is at home too.
Correct.
So that's going to be very important. That's going to give them a boost, and there is no way Juve cannot lose this game. If they go out in the round of 16 after the coup of bringing Ronaldo to Juve.
For this exact purpose, for the Champions
League. Then it's a massive failure. It's worse than what happened to Real Madrid or worse than what happened in PSG. Absolutely.
If Juventus get knocked out right here, it's worse.
It's worse than what happened in PSG and worse than what happened to Real Madrid.
Even taking into account that both Real Madrid and PSG were turnarounds.
Yep.
And this one is kind of, are we expecting Juve to be knocked out today?
No. Look, if it happens, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't say expecting it, but some people will say it's not going to be a surprise. I will be surprised because I think when you add Cristiano to that team, they should go to the final. And I know the luck of the draw, and they picked Atleti in the draw, and it happens. Man. Yeah, it happens. But when you bring over Cristiano Ronaldo, all the expectations come over with it.
It does. You're absolutely correct.
And I think people who know football like us, we knew that Real Madrid wasn't going to win the Champions League this year. Yeah. PSG wasn't going to win it with a rookie coach, a coach who's never done anything big time in Europe, Thomas Tuchel. I think if you have real expectations, you would see that those two would not make it to the final. Everybody knew that Juve had the team to get to the final. So if they go out, it's bigger.
Hector Rodriguez saying Juventus is going home today, so he's predicting an Atleti win, or prefer to say that as this. Jesse Gallen, Godin's still questionable? No, he will start. Diego Simeone confirmed yesterday that
they need him to start,
Nick Hardison, I think Juventus pull this off. They have the GOAT, and he always comes up big in the Champions League. Nick, he has come up big in the past in the Champions League, slacking a little bit, but this would be the time to shine for him to come up big. I mean, and they will. They need at least 2 goals. So
Pele plays for Juve, the GOAT? Oh, man. Oh, go ahead, Nick. I'm glad you acknowledge Pele. There you go,
Barcelona fans will be like, Nancy, please for Juve. I know that joke is coming, so don't even put it down. The other team that many predicted would do big things in the Champions League this season is Manchester City, and they're taking on Schalke. The first leg was very interesting because we were like, oh, my God, are Schalke going to do it? Are they going to do it? And then, no, they didn't do it. They lost 3-2. But Pep Guardiola with a very interesting statement this week, and I think he's playing a little bit of Mourinho's psychological games. He said, and I quote, Manchester City are like teenagers in this competition. Kind of insinuating that they're not expected to do big things because they're so young. And I honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about because you've spent so much money on this team that how on earth are they teenagers?
Yeah, I mean, they are
like businessmen who are ready to do this, not teenagers. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your thoughts?
It's a strange comment from Guardiola. Teenagers, but still teenagers win titles. Yeah, I mean, teenagers won titles in tennis and in basketball, so I mean, it happens. Mbappe won a World Cup. He was a teenager.
I mean, look at Ajax.
Ajax,
I think he's playing, and I don't know why he's taking this angle because his team are superb, and I think they are favorites to do it. And I think anyone who draws Manchester City are terrified. I think he's playing this game where he's trying to lower everyone's expectations and kind of take pressure off of his team and be like, no, guys, it's okay if we don't do well because we're just teenagers. I told you guys last week we're teenagers, so it's okay if we get knocked out by Schalke today or if we get knocked out by XYZ in the next round. why play these games?
Yeah.
It seems strange from him.
You gotta. I understand the manager trying to deflect attention off of his squad and put it on himself. That makes sense.
Mourinho's masterclass.
Yeah, masterclass at it. Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't win much in his last few years.
No.
But he's still a master of it. But man, if I were, Pep needs to be like, you know what? We have 3 road goals in our favor. We're coming home. We feel very confident that we can advance. Now, we can't take Schalke lightly. You can't take any opponent Schalke lightly. But the teenagers thing is like, it's weird. I don't know. They'll go through anyway. But I don't know if that message is something you want your players to be listening to.
Let's hit the comments here. Jesse Gallen saying, Man City going down only for the fact that Kun Agüero took a selfie with Drake. Man City's cursed now. What?
Yes.
I did not see the selfie.
That is true. Yes, that's true.
Oh my God.
Drake. That's what happens when you take selfies with a terrible rapper. I mean, that's what happens.
Great. Amr Derbahati saying, how about Morata? We'll see how Morata does.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo's like biting his nails,
Worried
scared of
about
Morata, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Pato and Jay, when Man City gets a draw with the big boys in UCL, especially Liverpool, it's always fun. That would be interesting in the next round.
Yeah.
Andres Pickle Timmon saying the team isn't fully mature to him. That's what he's saying. But Andres, I don't know. This is the same team that he had last season that he won the Premier League with. I would understand the statement if he's saying it last season, but you've now played an entire competition with this squad. They're not teenagers in the competition anymore.
And you spend all that money, they better not be teenagers. All that money they spent, they better be 30 years old, ready to go with some kids.
Let's just to get a little nitpicky. I don't think many of them are actually teenagers.
Yeah, they're like mid-20s. Yeah, they're in their primes. Yeah.
Hector Rodriguez, the Drake curse. Kelty Tippins, earlier this season, Pep said Man City was on the same level as Barca, Madrid, Juve, and Bayern. Now he's saying they are teenagers. Kelty, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, amen to that, Kelty.
I also find the statements very strange. Moving along, the 2 matches tomorrow, George, we'll get your take on them before they happen. And you guys, remember, send your predictions for today's matches, and then we'll reward who got it right tomorrow. Barcelona-Lyon. I predict that Barcelona may be headed into crisis corner.
Oh, you think so?
I'm gonna pull a hot take just because I think that this is the way this is going, and we could see a Roma situation 2.0. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know, but I'm just putting it out there. What do you think? I think they're going to underestimate Lyon, and I think Nabil Fekir is going to tear it up.
The first leg was Lyon's chance. The first leg was Lyon's chance, but at Camp Nou, I can't.
What if they get an away goal? It's a 1-1 draw with an away goal.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see any. I can't see them. I was trying to think of all the scenarios that Lyon. I tried to do like Doctor Strange and Avengers Infinity War, trying to think of the scenarios, and it didn't work. I think Barca is going to win this one like 3-0. Or maybe like a 3-1. They might get a goal, Lyon, but I think it's like a 3-1 scoreline. I think Barca is going to take them. I just can't see anybody beating them at Camp Nou right now. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Bayern Munich taking on Liverpool, 0-all to play for in this one. I think that Liverpool fans will kind of be hoping that they get knocked out so they can focus on the Premier League. We've talked about this so many times, but I mean, obviously you don't hope that your team gets knocked out, but I don't think they'll be devastated with the way that the league is going for them. Yeah,
English teams don't do well in Germany, and I saw a little bit of the game between Bayern Munich and Wolfsburg, and some of the movement and the passing that Bayern put together, it was Barcelona-like. It was really good. I think Bayern is going to take them out.
I knew that little crisis corner prediction would get you guys upset, so I just love to stir the pot a little bit. Teresa Pena, Gabby, you're wrong. Teresa, don't get angry at me. I'm just speaking what could possibly happen.
She could be speaking the truth, Teresa.
Emmanuel Herrera, George speaking facts. The Barca fans are coming after me. I just said it could maybe happen, guys. Don't yell at me.
Don't worry. When I talk trash about Barca, they say the same thing.
I know. It's all love. It comes with the territory. Yeah. Juan Carlos Mayo saying Barcelona 3, Lyon 1, 2 from Messi. That's exactly what George predicted. Yeah. Amine Esco, as a Barca fan, I'm not sleeping on Lyon. They have a young, fast squad, and Fekir can be dangerous and has I'm not sure what that word is. Ability, yes. Okay. Ability to maneuver tight spaces with Barca high pressure. In addition, Lyon needs just 1 goal. Correct. That away goal is so key. Barcelona needed to pick up that away goal to kind of
make it a little easier.
Bit. Yeah. So I think it'll definitely be partidazo. Moving along. It's not just Champions League action this week. Copa Libertadores action. Well, break down the schedule. Are you on the call at all?
Yeah, but I don't remember which game.
Great. Perfect. So we'll get back to you on that. But Boca Juniors taking on Deportivo Tolima live today at 6:05. That's on both channels. Boca, never miss a Boca game, guys.
Aguante Boca.
Gremio versus Club Libertad, and then that's after those both the Boca Juniors match. So that's live at 8:20, both on English and Spanish. And then you can watch Palmeiras versus Melgar on Connect, and Nacional versus Atletico Mineiro on Connect also.
Ooh, I like
Which of those four are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Gremio Libertad.
Really?
Yeah, I like Gremio Libertad. I like
Who
that.
are you rooting for in that one?
Oh, I don't have a preference either way. I just like saying Gremio Football Porto Alegrense. Yeah. I just like saying that. I just saying that. Yeah.
The Brazilian teams. Because
but that should be a good game, man.
You do nail your Portuguese pronunciation.
I've been practicing. Yes.
And also, guys, don't forget to catch Dijon versus PSG live on 155. Yeah, PSG in action after that Champions League exit. Poor Mbappe says he hasn't been able to sleep, so we hope he got some shut-eye.
It's all worn out. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. Yeah.
We're running out of time here on Sports Burst, but be sure to check out Copa Libertadores and PSG and write your Champions League predictions, and we'll reward you tomorrow. Bye, guys.